saw all the other big four in NA, as they're always called, win a regional in the fall split. G2 were the one that didn't manage to, so this has to be their best chance yet. They look like they're in really good form as well.
Keeping teams out around them. Peeps already out. Ghost Gaming currently doing them a massive favor as well over on the B stream. That is them taking down Alpine at the moment 2-1, and they've got a 2-0 lead in that game 4. So right now, everything is falling in G2's favor. This is the part that's in their hands though, and they've got to make sure they step up today and show us what they can do. A drop down pass to Rizzo, and he does hit the crossbar. Chicago goes underneath. That one's not quite in, and that was a huge chance.
Yeah, I bet Rizzo wishes he could see 3 seconds in the future. He wouldn't have gone for the boost there. He would have stayed exactly where he was to collect the open net, which really must have surprised him when it just fell down there. But how are you supposed to know that that's going to happen?
I'll go to the other side of the field. eUnited not trying to press just as hard as G2 were. Instead, they're going to leave it up to Ajax, who will get the ball dropped down for Wondermite. Shots on target, only as far as JNaps. Another shot from Tristan over towards the backboard, and nicely tapped on there by G2. And eyes on Rizzo yet again, as he's going to have his chance. Leaves it, and it's a calamity on the goal line. It's a calamity that works out fantastically for G2.
Listen, if this isn't top of the goals of the day on the next pre-show, then I'm going to start a riot. This has to be the best goal I've ever seen in RLCS. What a fake from G2. Team fake. And the eUnited are sent flag.
That has to be in there, and whoever has to do the commentary for that one has to be very excited about it as well. Through gritted teeth.
We just actually, for the top 3 goals in the next pre-show, can we please just have that goal from 3 different angles? That was a screamer from G2.
Well, they have started off exactly how they wanted. They have put the correct foot forward here, and confirmation as well. Ghost Gaming have managed to drop Alpine down to that lower bracket. This is the chance. This cannot be overstated right now. For G2, this is the tournament they have to perform in now.
Yeah, the Dark Goat sent to the lower bracket. Ghost powering on. What a result for them. Already a successful regional, I'd say, but can they go one better? G2 likewise. Rizzo looking for the infield pass. So it's a little bit too far back for Chicago to fire fast. Oh, he didn't need to, though. He still got it early enough. Now JNaps places low. He's denied. And I like the try there from JNaps to place the shot low, but it's bounced well for eUnited.
And Tristan with the double save will keep this game within reach for eUnited, and maybe they're going to get a chance here. They have to get much braver with that as this game goes along and starts ticking towards the final few moments of it. G2, though, just relying on their pace. This is what we expect to see from them week in and week out. Chance for Chicago to start to escape. No real pressure being brought on there by eUnited. And this is something that might worry me, actually, against G2, is that they are very happy to lock you in your side of the field. But so far for eUnited, they're very happy to let go of that midfield pressure. And I'm not too sure how I feel about that. I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops as this game goes along. Tristan has the lingering presence of JNaps behind him, and now it's Rizzo's chance off the infield pass. G2 rolling.
Yeah, Rizzo just gets out of the blanket for a moment to score, then he's right back to sleeping on eUnited. Beautiful pass from Chicago there. I don't think eUnited have got much of a choice if they want to break out of their half. G2 are all over them.
So far, G2 very much living up to expectations. Rizzo, as always, the player to watch. He has always been a very good measuring stick as to how G2 are playing on a certain day. JNaps now passed over to Chicago. These infield passing plays, so much success with them so far. And it is all coming down to the execution of the shot, because so far, eUnited are nowhere near them for a challenge.
Yeah, eUnited they're not falling with the same trap that V1 fell for against Rogue. They are choosing their battles quite wisely. The problem is, though, if you don't actually put pressure on the other team, in this case G2, then they will just have their way with you. This is what G2 love to do. They're not making any mistakes. They're not leaving any counterattacks available for eUnited. And that's another shot on target. It's saved by the bar. This one's off the joint, actually. But how many times will G2 get to take 3 shots? These are completely uncontested.
Now to pass over to JNabs. What a play this is! And again, the woodwork will deny G2. And for eUnited, this could have been 3 or 4 goals so far against them. They'll be happy that it's only 2. Now might get their chance. Chicago jumps up and blocks. Time to start calibrating these shots, though, if you're G2, because this could have been a runaway game.
G2 currently have 18 shots. This is insane. They just will not stop shooting.
Thank goodness Gibbs isn't here. The shooting percentage, he would still not be happy. This has been a dominant performance from G2. He still wouldn't be happy with the shooting percentage.
Well, you know, the good thing is that they haven't hit any really, really bad shots off the bar as, you know, last man in on a play, setting up counterattacks for eUnited. Whenever they have missed, it's been what you would call a good miss, a miss that they can continue to follow up on, a miss that allows them to continue attacking. And that's mostly what this game has been. It's just G2 attacking and eUnited not really being able to do much about it. I do think eUnited have got more speed than what they showed us here. They do have more mechanical ability than was on display in this game one, most of the time that I see them play. But even if they do go all out and start to take risks, start to you know, really dive in for as many challenges as they can, I still don't see G2 getting beaten enough for this to swing in their favor.
Yeah, and it's the sort of game as well where eUnited were so reserved. They're going to come into this game too knowing they've got to do something. They've got to attack a play at some point. And the question then becomes, what happens when they do so? Because if that bites them back, they're just going to retreat again. And it's now all up to eUnited to make sure that that play goes well, that they can gain the confidence here in game 2. Because if things stay as they currently are, G2 will happily play at this pace for another 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, this one of the reasons why G2 are so successful
Crossbar
is because,
again, by the way.
Yeah, just you know, just another crossbar, nothing to see there. It's just the standard stuff. G2 make their infield passes look like shots. That's why they're so successful. It's why teams have a really hard time dealing with them. It's why G2 gets so many goals from them. If you can convince the opposing team that you're shooting right as you hit an infield pass, then it's less likely that the goalkeeper's going to be ready. Oh, what a shot that is from Wonder Mike. Chicago was respecting him and ready for it.
United now have got themselves a bit of offensive pressure. What can they do with it? There's no one around in the midfield to keep this going. Ajax very far back. He's joined as well, but will be able to hold off G2 here. Ajax again challenged by Rizzo. He's managed to get past the second one. Up goes JNabs. He's uncontested. He looks at the top corner. 2 players needed, and nobody will stop Chicago.
What on earth was this? JNabs shot just stopped on the crossbar somehow by 2 defenders. But that's one of the positions, I guess, where double committing is not going to work out, because if the ball doesn't fly clear from danger, it's just an easy goal for the third man in G2.
It looked like 2 players are like challenging each other when they've both got spikes on. They both get it, spikes on, challenged you, give it over to my spikes, challenged you, spikes are gone again. Either way, it was a very fun interaction. More for G2 than it was for eUnited. Rizzo already up. Tristan's going to try and beat him to the ball, but that backboard is available, and G2 just onslaught of offense from them so far as another pass up. I would love to know how many of these loose balls that have just gone to the air have been won by G2 so far, because it has been overwhelmingly in their favor.
I think I know the answer to that question, actually. It's many. Not all, but many, definitely. The vast majority. So
you've seen the maps I can do on stream, especially when I'm commentating, so I do appreciate the lack of useful numbers.
I'll just make it as simple as possible for you, Shogun.
I am the explain like I'm 5 of Rocket League commentators, I'm aware.
I think that's why people like your commentary so much, because Twitch chat have that, you know, overall got the IQ of a 5-year-old, so you really do blend in very well.
Ooh, I'm gonna let that one sink in for everybody. United looking to try and take their first chance. Infield over to Wonder Mike. This is the chance for Rizzo. Will keep it out. eUnited did everything correct. Nothing might get caught in the counter. Tristan manages to get there just in time. Half the game left to play. The best flurry we have seen so far from eUnited, but it might be improved, but this one does drop in. And the first race that they win in midair has resulted in a goal.
And there is the classic G2 aggression. not working out for them. Chicago, third man in the play, decides that he's going to go for the ball against the first man from eUnited and gets beaten to it completely. Even if there's a 50-50 there, then it might still work out well for eUnited. But G2, they will continue to do that. That is why they apply so much pressure to their opponents, because they're willing to go for just about anything and play three-man offense. Here they all come again. Full teams here, but the entire EU squad have parked in the goal line to deny the shot.
Oh, Rizzo wanted the musty. He was a couple of car lengths away,
What?
but it's still just as awkward. Okay. Johnny, your job's to analyze these sort of situations. Analyze away.
Oh, Wonder Mike, what's he done? I guess he got in a really awkward position, but he just panicked. He just totally panicked here. Tried to control the ball on the goal line instead of knocking it back into the corner, and it didn't work out. That's not how to defend the near post.
Oh, and one Ajax actually able to pre-jump that save. So for eUnited, it goes from the best moment in their series so far to the worst one. They find themselves a goal down yet again. Yeah, it's 100% agree with you as well regarding the way G2 play in a series. There's so many teams that you can, maybe even sometimes guess, what's the scoreline by just the way they are playing. You can remove what the goals actually are. But for G2, very difficult. They play 4 goals down the exact same way they play 4 goals up.
Yeah, it's very always been pressure. It's extremely difficult.
They don't have to learn anything else. It's just, hey, how are we going to play when the pressure's on? The exact same way as we always do.
The good thing about the way G2 play, well, actually, there's many good things about it. One, that's extremely entertaining, and it's one of the reasons why G2 are such a popular team. You'd much rather watch this than 2 teams who are just terrified to attack anything with their third man and just watch a million chances go away from them. What a save there from G2. Again, eUnited are pressuring them. They're starting to come forward and apply the finishing touches as well. But G2, as long as they make their plays well, then they can at least know that it was G2 against G2 pretty much. In every single matchup, it's G2 against themselves. If they execute their strategy to perfection, then it probably isn't beatable by teams that are holding back.
And so far, what we're seeing from eUnited, especially with their best opportunities, is just come from them finding one gap in the pace of G2. We saw it to start the game with Wonder Mike almost finding a very awkward touch. He's got another one there. It's a lovely play for Ajax to bring us back to 2 each.
Yeah, just an awkward position in defense for G2 this time. Chicago gets in a very similar place to the Wonder Mike on the previous goal. Except this time he got bumped into the goal. It wasn't a whiff like for with Wonder Mike's end of the field. Chicago actually got plastered across the goal line. That left it wide open.
United growing into this a little bit here. Definitely would prefer this over their first game performance, but the pass to GNabs was almost just as lethal as G2 would like it to be. Ajax, no one to really aim for downfield. He's going to try and provide one more opportunity for his team to take it in regulation time. But it does look like we are going to go to overtime to try and see who's going to take game number 2.
That was a phenomenal read by Wonder Mike at the end of the game. G2 put together a full team passing play, smashed a shot on target, but the save came through for eUnited. Hard read of the play. Now here come G2 in the breakaway once again. JNAP's infield to Chicago, and that one won't be stopped. G2 win 15 seconds in.
Oh, you knew it was coming as well, but there was nothing to be done about it. It was spotted by eUnited. They tried to get there, and they simply were not fast enough. G2 have got 3 match points here in the tournament that they've got to perform well in. They are certainly doing exactly that.
And this is kind of scary for Rogue as well, who are waiting in the next round. We did actually talk in the Rogue versus V1 series about one of the win conditions for V1, and that is to play the passes faster. Their passes are too slow. They're too easy for First Killer and friends to see and to intercept and use their incredible speed to shut down. You don't have any time against G2's passes, though. If G2 can do this later on in the day later on in the tournament against Rogue, then they will probably be the favorites in that matchup as well. Even though Rogue did look phenomenal, just because it doesn't matter how good your mechanics are, it doesn't matter how fast you are, how good your recoveries are, and how quick you are at reacting to what you see. G2's passes, you need to read them ahead of time. You're not going to save these reactively.
They are so good at just putting you almost into a coin flip with the decision making that you've got to go for. Is it a shot or is it a pass? They hide it so well. Well, this one's definitely the pass. And it's still going to drop down awkwardly. Only thing that has been missing from G2 today that we've got used to is the demo plays. That's all that is sort of taking away from the quintessential G2 performance.
Yeah, it's eUnited haven't really. eUnited haven't really stacked their goal. They're not doing the full team defensive lineup, you know, making it easy for G2 to demo them. They're trying to move around, they're trying to rotate, and they're trying to keep up with G2's movements. It's just G2 are better at it. They do it better than pretty much anybody in NA. And G2, like I said earlier, if they can play their style to perfection, it's incredibly difficult for pretty much anyone in NA to go against them. It's because everybody else plays a little bit more reserved than G2.
JNaps, knowing that he's not going to be able to get to that one, leaves it for Wonder Mike instead. That's not the best touch from Wonder Mike, but Rizzo also will be a little bit upset with what he produced. It's going to be Rizzo with a second opportunity. Double tap attempt, hard read to go for. It does drop down very awkwardly for everybody. JNaps going to have his own opportunity at this one. It is on target, no real power. Double commit though gained. Chicago tried to catch the ball midair. Rizzo keeps that pressure on, goes over to JNaps. Two players committed yet again. eUnited happy to double commit. It's become the new defensive technique for them. But if it's working, and they have survived the onslaught.
As long as the recoveries keep coming through and in different positions, then double commits aren't actually that bad. It used to be the death sentence. You double commit in defense in Rocket League, you're getting scored on. But these days, players are recovering in the blink of an eye, and just the knowledge of where surfaces are so that you always land in your wheels. Every pro player's got that, so you can afford to double commit in two separate directions, land in two separate locations, and still have a follow-up save for the next play.
Now eUnited looking to try and gain their own opportunity. Kristen wants the awkward save from Rizzo, but Rizzo's not been providing those so far. Defensively, he has managed to scramble G2 out of a number of situations so far. Now a little bit lower boost.
Oh dear.
He has actually managed to get more out of this. eUnited, they have had a few mistakes in them, and it might cost them a lot of offense here. Chicago putting that pressure on. Looks for the infield pass. JNaps going to have to do a lot of work to keep this play on. He does get it over to Rizzo, who's going to buy that time, let his team recover, and they're going to reset.
G2 prioritizing early shots in this game. Still waiting for the full team passing play. If they do decide to go back to that, I really would be surprised if eUnited are ready for it, because G2 are really, they're conditioning them to expect early shots on every single play.
And when is that full team play going to come out so far? A lot more of the defense being prioritized up towards the backboard. United very much might be getting set up for this one, but they've made another mistake. And again, they have to help each other out to clean up the mess. United, though, some sloppy movements. And it hasn't quite cost them yet here in Game 3. Can't afford many more of those, though. Wonder Mike, no boost. Chicago just going to clear long, force Ajax into a tough spot, maybe steal the boost, but he has been bumped by Wonder Mike, and that's going to help out his team quite a bit here, actually. Does really slow down the offense.
Love that fake from G2, and you know, it looked intentional. It was a very close flyby, and you could clearly see that it was called because the infield player was ready for it, and the shot came in. However, it was saved by eUnited, but that's still such creativity from G2. Fake aerials, something that's really been unexplored to a large degree in professional Rocket League.
Oh, that's going to be very difficult, especially off the backflip. Rizzo calling him off. Double commit for the save. So G2 showing off that they have learned the ancient defensive techniques as well. United, 45 seconds left here. Went for the infield pass. Chicago can recover this one. He doesn't quite do so. JNaps off the infield or the midfield challenge. Been a tame game here. A lot of opportunities being created, but Crossbar has been very much less rattled in this game than it has been in other ones. Maybe JNaps can change that here. Looks for a setup, didn't quite get behind the ball. Rizzo's going to take his chance. Ajax is in a tough spot. He has dealt with it well. Final 15 seconds. eUnited looking to try and hold off this one, but JNaps looks to prevent it. And how on earth are you going to stop a shot like that one?
Well then, JNaps tired of waiting around, I suppose. Somebody told him, hey, the scoreline's still 0-0, and he says, I'm not interested in overtime in Game 3. I'm not interested in a fourth game as well. Let's just end this right here, right now.
I think the analytical terms for that one is fair play. You
wait
do
a
that,
minute.
you feel like it. Oh, wait, it's on the goal line. It's going Tristan for chance. Off the post. Off the crossbar. Either way, it is not in. And G2 storm on through to winners semi-finals.
Oh, poor eUnited. They had the awkward bouncy ball going at their goal in game 1 and game 2, and they conceded both times. This time it was in front of G2's net, and it just refused to cross the goal line. Somehow G2 avoided a late equalizer, which would have really taken away from JNAP's insane solo goal. What a double touch at high speed as well. He didn't waste any time getting up for that ball. eUnited sent an early challenge at that one. They thought, okay, let's just go at this one as fast as we can, make sure that G2 don't get anything off it, even if they do beat us to the ball. Yeah, JNAP's had other ideas.
Okay, so earlier on today, Johnny, we saw a little bit of a calamitous play on the goal line that we said we would see 3 times. I'm willing to only see it twice as long as JNAPS gets the other spot. Do we agree upon this?
I think, well, you know, that was maybe a bit extreme. We had at least 3 howlers in this series. You know,
Yeah,
there were some great goals. There were also some horrendous plays as well, which they just happen in high-pressure games like this, in high-speed games like this. Mistakes are going to happen. That's just one of the things that comes with playing at your absolute maximum potential.
Well, I certainly cannot wait to see Rogue versus G2, but that will have to wait till tomorrow. Coming up next, though, we're going to see just how well V1 can bounce back from their earlier loss against Rogue as they play an elimination game against KC Pioneers.